Hey y'all, welcome back or welcome to the Honestly Truly podcast hosted by me, Tylar Cimone. And today it is hot. It's hot. I feel like Texas is hot all the time. Okay, that's just what it is. But I feel like in August it gets hotter, sure. But now we're in September and I feel like it's getting hotter. Like it's supposed to be cooler and it's getting hotter. Like today is so hot. Like I have the sweater on because it's cold in my job, but as soon as I stepped outside, I was like, okay. It has to come off. I put it back on because I wanted us to, we could be cute together in here. But it's hot. So if y'all hear the air blowing in the background, it's because I had to cut it down. It's hot. Like in my house right now, it just feels hot. So that's that. But other than that, I'm having a great day and I'm very excited to talk to you guys about today's topic, as I'm sure you've read in the little title down there. Before we get into that, you're dying to know. What am I drinking? Let you hear it first for the people who are listening. And if you're listening, stop what you're doing. Scroll down to the little description on the podcast. Click it. There's a link there to come to my YouTube page. Come over. Watch me. Let's interact together. Subscribe, like, comment, do the things, share. Okay? Now, let me let you hear. I don't know if you heard anything. But I'm drinking cranberry juice because that's what I wanted to drink today. And I'm drinking out of this really cute mug that I got from Target. Look at it. I don't even know if y'all can see it all the way because the lighting in here. It says trust the process. It's got this little iridescent situation. It's so cute and I love it. It's like me in a cup. I just love it. Let's just get a little sip. Delicious. But that's what I'm drinking today. Really, this was all an excuse to show you my new mug. But if you don't know, I collect mugs and I actually have been slipping. I haven't bought a new mug. This is the first mug that I bought in months. It's been like a lot of months since I bought a new mug, so I'm very excited to get back into doing that because I just love it. You find unique things like this one. Like this is so cute. Like look at it again, y'all. Please, it's so cute. So cute. Anywho, let's go ahead and get into our song of the week. I have a super big throwback for you guys. It's because I was listening to it. So I was listening to another podcast called Here's the Thing. I probably talked about it on here before. It's very good. It's a funny podcast. They talk about hot topics. It's with Kev on stage and Angel the actress, or that chick Angel. You should check it out. It's very funny. I don't miss an episode. But on one of the, I guess maybe last week or whatever, they were talking about, what's the song called? That's crazy, Tyler. Running Back to You by Commissioned. Okay, that's a way throwback gospel song. Okay, I haven't heard it in years. And they were playing it, and I was like, I love this song. And so I went back and listened to it. After the podcast was over, I downloaded it and listened to it, and I just kept putting it over and over again because he was singing down. Like, he was just singing so well. Obviously, the message of the song is beautiful, but his voice is just so amazing that I was just like, okay. Because I think he was singing, it's a group, but I think he was singing by himself on that one. Wait, let me see. Yeah, it was just Fred Hammond on that one. I feel like he was just singing by himself because he just sounded so good. And I just love, lately, I always love music when people are singing down, but lately I just feel like I've been wanting to listen to more and more of that lately. So it's just such a good song. So I've been listening to that all week long on replay. And then also Jordan Sparks had an album come out on Friday called, what's her album called? No Restrictions. And I wanted to listen to it because she had a single come out a couple months ago called Call My Name that I really liked, and she was also singing down. I said, I know that's right, Jordan. Okay, so I was listening to that and I really liked that single, and so when she announced the album, I was like, okay girl, I'm locked in. So I listened to it twice through, and I liked a good number of the songs. There were some that were just not my speed, weren't bad songs. I just knew that I was not going to ever replay them, so I just didn't save certain songs. But I saved, let me see, majority of them. I think I saved over half of the album, which is really good for me. So I would definitely recommend you go and check her out. I don't think she's released music in a long time. I don't keep up with Jordan Sparks like that, but if you are a fan of hers, or even in the past if you're a fan of hers, she's doing some good singing. Okay, she's singing down. She's got some good features on there too. I think T-Pain is on one of the songs. Good features, good music, very lovey, very cozy. I really enjoyed it. So go check that out. And if you need to run back that gospel, go ahead and hit up Commissioned again and go listen to that song because it's just such a good song. But those are my songs / albums of the week, music that I have been listening to. And then also lately, I've just been doing my random also shuffle of all the music that I have, and it's been really great. I had a really great shuffle day. Like, you know those days, if you're a person who likes to shuffle all their music like I do, where like you get a really good shuffle and it's just like every single song is great. I had that day the other day when I was driving, and it was just wonderful. So I've been doing a little bit of that as well. But yeah, let's get into, oh my gosh, I do have a short story long story short for you guys this week. I forgot about it, just came to my head. Thank you, Jesus. Short version is, I almost died due to a bug, a critter. Long version, I was leaving for work and I was carrying my purse and I had a cardigan in my arm. I'm walking down the stairs, leaving my house, and I see some bugs like on the wall, like outside, and I'm like, okay, cool, like, you stay over there. I'm outside of your land. We're fine. I'm going this way. Now, when I was walking down the stairs, I saw one move, and I thought that maybe it jumped on my cardigan, but I shook it. And when I got downstairs, I got to my car. Before I got in the car, I shook my cardigan out, and I kind of like patted my purse down, and then I got in the car. So I'm driving, and it's like early in the morning, so it's kind of still kind of dark outside. And so I'm driving down the street, and I feel something crawl across me. I said, oh, I'm tripping. So I could keep moving. It's dark, so I can't see, right? I'm driving. I feel something crawling me again. Girl, I look down. There is a bug. It wasn't like a crazy, scary looking bug. It was like probably maybe like some kind of moth. But it was scary, and it was in my car, and it was not tiny. It was not small. And so I'm like, I don't do bugs, y'all. I've really made a lot of strides. I've made a lot of growth. Okay, I've done a lot of growing in this sector since I've lived on my own. Obviously, no one's going to come over here and kill my bugs for me. So I have really done a great job. I'm very proud of myself. Okay, I clap for me. But in the car, like, I'm driving, trying to focus on what I'm doing, and this bug is like crawling on me. So I roll down the window to try to let it leave on its own, and I speed up so I can kind of, go. It does not leave. It crawls into like where you keep your sunglasses at. Like I have a little thing at the bottom of my dashboard where you can put like sunglasses and other little things. It goes in there. I'm like, no, sir, you're going the wrong way. So I'm getting upset. I'm getting a little bit tense because I'm like, I don't have time for this. I'm trying to drive. So I turn onto the street, and like there's like a little part where you can like turn off. So I just pull over, and I'm like, okay, because it's not leaving. I had driven like a good period of time, and it would not fly out. And I tried to shoo it, but I'm like, also I don't want to touch it. Ew. But I was like, okay, be cool, be calm. I pulled over, got out the car, and I start like I get like a paper towel to kind of go into that part where it's hiding at. It doesn't move. I said, you don't want to come with me to work. You don't want to do what I'm doing. Get out. Go be free. I'm so confused. So I wait a little bit. I cut the lights on. I try to flash it and see if that will help. Nothing. So I get in there. I get my cardigan. I hate to put my cardigan in that place because it's my cardigan that I wear all the time. But I threw it in there, kind of like, entice it to move out the way. And that worked, right? So it flies. I'm like, yes, it flies away. Why does it fly to the back seat? It doesn't fly. All the windows are down. So it could have just flown out the window. But no, it wanted to stick around in Coco, which is what I call my car, okay? It wanted to stick around in her. I'm like, get out. This is, like I said, this is like 6 something in the morning. I'm sleepy still. I ain't had nothing to eat yet. It's all not great. So then I'm in the back seat, like just kind of going like this, because I don't want to touch it. I'm just kind of like trying to move the hair around. Eventually, like at this point, I'm just standing there. It's been probably like 5 minutes, and now I'm just kind of standing here, and eventually it just flies away. And I was like, okay. And then I got scared, so I did like a whole look through of my car just to make sure that I wasn't tripping or imagining that it flew away. And then after I finished that, I just like wiped off all the seats, and I got in the car and got to work safely. But I almost died. Was ran off the road by a moth of some sort. And so you'll be happy to know that I'm still here. And I'm okay. But it was a very traumatizing time, and I don't wish that on anybody. It was very scary, but I made it to work. And that's my long story short story long. I really wanted to share that with you guys. When it happened, after it happened and I was driving to work, I was like, this is going to be good. I haven't had a long story short for y'all in a while. And this is it. It was very scary for me. But next thing, let's talk about some books for a second. Okay, I wanted to update you guys. If you watched my last video that I put out 2 weeks ago for the podcast anniversary, yay, I was talking about my September TBR and like the books that I read in August as well. So I want to give you an update, and then I want to show you the things that I bought this week. Crazy. Okay, so first, still reading Yours Truly by Abby Jimenez. I do like it. It's taking me a little bit longer to get through it right now. And I think a part of that just because I had a busy week last week, or I didn't have as much like downtime to read. So I think that's a big part of it. I'm liking the book. I'm really loving the way that she's building up our two main characters, our two love interests. I like the way that they're being built up. I think I'm not halfway through. Maybe I'm like almost halfway through. I'm on chapter 21. But I'm liking it so far. I've highlighted so many things in this book, so many lines that I really love the way that she wrote them. So I am enjoying it, but it's just, I think it's not sucking me in the way that the first one did. Like, I guess, so like I read these books out of order, just reminding you guys. So the first book I read was book number 3, which is not part of your world. Oh my God, Just for the Summer. So I read that one first, loved it, read it in like no time. Then I read the first book, Part of Your World. Read that one in like 4 or 5 days. Very good. Also, it didn't suck me in as much as part of Just for the Summer, but it was still really good. Now we have this one. This one is not sucking me in like that for real, but I am enjoying it. So I'm just like figuring it out. So I'm at the part where I'm not going to give anything away, of course, but she's really starting to build up the attraction to each other, like between the two love interests. And you're starting to see those little glimpses of what they might like in the other person, which I really do. I like this part of the book. So I'm enjoying it so far. I'm excited to see how it's going to turn out. Like, I don't even know. I haven't read it in a couple days, so I don't know. But the best thing that I want to tell you about this book, if you're a person who loves, like, when they put the letters and the emails or the texts in the book and, like, the different font, that's me. I love that. If I can flip through a book and see that, you've sold me already. And so there's a lot of that in here, which really made me excited, which like just was so great to read. It just feels very intimate, like I'm in their business even more than I already am, because obviously when you're reading these books, you're reading it from this character's point of view. But when you get the letters, and like it just feels like you're not supposed to see it. And I don't know, it just feels very intimate. So very, very, very happy about that part of this book for sure. But maybe next episode I'll be able to tell y'all what I actually thought of it. I should be done with it by next week. Actually, that's a lie. Maybe not next week. But when I do finish it, I'm going to come back and tell you what I thought. But so far, I am enjoying it. And I have, I guess, almost over half of it to go. But I did go book shopping this weekend. In my head, I don't know why I thought I was going to get like 1 billion books. That was not a part of my plan. But I did want to get one book specifically because I'm going on vacation soon and I wanted to just have this book to read it. And that is A Novel Love Story by Ashley Poston. Look at this book. This is such a cute book, y'all. As you know, I don't know anything about what this book is about. I just know it's a novel love story. And I know that I love this author. She also wrote 7 Year Slip, which was one of my favorite reads last year. I love that book, and I actually listened to it, so it was the audiobook. And so I wanted to try reading this one and kind of seeing how it feels that way. But I just, first of all, the colors, this is very colorful. I just love the way the book looks. But I will let you guys know what I think about it. I don't know how much I'm going to get through on my vacation. How many pages is this? 360. So I could finish it. We'll see. I think I'm going to have a lot of downtime during my trip. So if I do finish it, that'll be really cool, but we'll see. Don't know, but I'm very excited about it. I've heard a lot of good things about this book, so I'm just looking forward to seeing it, seeing how it goes, and just like getting another opportunity to read an Ashley Poston book. I'm just excited. But now this is the book I was supposed to get. I wasn't supposed to get anything else. But of course, I was in Target browsing through the book section as one does, right? And then I stumbled upon this book, okay? Throne of the Fallen. This is probably also a factor as to why I have not finished Yours Truly just yet, because I started reading this. Now, let me tell you, if you watched my last week's video, or 2 weeks ago, that video, I talked about wanting to read a like fantasy, romantasy kind of book. I've never read this genre before and I wanted to try it. And I thought that to get me into fantasy, I thought it would be nice to kind of slide me in with romance, because I really love romance books. So I had Powerless on my TBR for September. And I did see Powerless in Target. I saw it. But I saw this book and I saw the what? Sprayed edges. Okay? And I don't know if this book is always printed with the purple sprayed edges. I don't know. This is my first time seeing this book in person. I put it on my TBR on Goodreads, but like this is my first time seeing it. And so I don't know, but the sprayed edges really just attracted me. I love purple. It's one of my favorite colors. And so first of all, the book is just pretty. This is another really just pretty book. I just like it. But the sprayed edges did it for me. Okay. And yes, I'm using a receipt as my bookmark. That's my business. Okay. But I saw this, and I had this book, I had Novel Love Story, and I also have Powerless in my cart. And I was like, you're only getting 2. You need to pick between Powerless and Throne of the Fallen. And I went Throne of the Fallen because I think this just made me so happy seeing the purple. I don't know. And both of the books are really pretty on the inside. Let me show you this. I just love it's so pretty. Hold on. This is the first page. Like, am I gonna have to get up to show you guys this? Hold on. Ugh! Look at this. Can y'all see that? I hope you can see that. And then, hold on. Where is the other page? This is the part 1. Oh my gosh. Like, what? That's just pretty. And I don't think I've ever read a book that has all these little pretty pages in it. It's very cool. And like, even at the top of each chapter, it has like a nice little border at the top, like flowers and stuff falling down. I'm a fan of that. I think that's just enhances the reading experience for me so far. Like I said, I have no clue what this book is about, obviously. But I've read 2 chapters of it, and it's definitely giving October read. It's giving I don't really know what's about yet. I've really only read, is it 2 chapters? Maybe a little bit less. But I know that it's got a group of brothers, and the brothers represent the sins, like all of the sins, like lust and envy, stuff like that. And they are in a competition that I don't fully understand yet, but they're in a competition. And there's a main love interest. I don't know if they're all going to be fighting for this love interest. I don't know what's happening, but it's very intriguing so far. I want to read more. So when I was at work today, I always bring a book with me, and I brought yours truly today. And I didn't get a chance to read it just because I just didn't get a chance to. But when I was like at my desk thinking like, what am I going to read when I get home, when all my podcasting is over? What am I going to read? I wanted to pick this up. My brain wanted this. And I think it's just because maybe I'm just excited because I've never read this genre before, so I'm just excited to see like how I'm gonna feel about it. But also the story so far, only 30 pages in, it's enticing me. Like, I just don't really know what's gonna happen, so I think I'm gonna read this tonight. But I also really want to save it for October, so I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I guess we'll see, because I was supposed to be reading Powerless. Ooh. But you know what, it's fine, the books are gonna be there. I'm gonna get Powerless soon too. But I think so far, if it's a good sign, especially with a new genre, that I'm feeling like I want to read this over my classic romance. I think that's a good sign for me to like know, like, okay, girl, we can do something different. We can get out of the box a little bit. Like I did that with mystery and thrillers. I was a strictly romance reader, and then, well, first before anything, I was like nonfiction books only, and then I got into romance, and then I got into mystery and thrillers, and I really loved that genre. And so I feel like this is a good sign. Like I'm already starting to get that connection with this. And I know this isn't all the way full fantasy, so I do want to read some like strictly fantasy books too. And I feel like maybe those will have some romance in it just because. I don't know. I don't know anything about the genre, but I'm very excited about this book. It's so pretty. It's got sprayed edges. I feel very official right now. I feel very cool. So I am excited to come back and tell you guys more about this. But enough about books. This could turn into another book episode, and that's not what we're doing. But anyways, we're going to get into our topic, and we're going to be talking about overthinking. If you listen to my old episodes, even before I started the video aspect, overthinking has been something that I have dealt with for a long time. I think it's just my mind just moves so quickly already, and there's already so many moving parts that I just think about all the time, that when it came to like making decisions, whether they were little or huge, very important decisions, I felt like there was a long thought process for everything, and it was just debilitating. I just didn't like it, and it made my life harder for no reason. Like literally at the end of it, what I realized, like as I started reading more books about it and just understanding myself better and just maturing as a person, I realized that I already know what I want to do, and it's just a matter of me trying to talk myself out of it for some reason. Maybe because it all boiled down to me not really trusting myself. And so over the past couple years, I feel like I have really improved, and I don't really overthink as much anymore. I just don't. Like I usually just go with whatever I think is best, and that is that. But recently, maybe like 2 or 3 weeks ago, I can't even remember what I was overthinking about, because it probably wasn't that important. But maybe like a couple weeks ago, all week, little things were coming up, and I was just overthinking it. And some of them I really can't remember what I was trying to decide on or what the issue was. There was a couple different things that I felt like were just weighing on me, and I wasn't able to push through and just decide what I wanted to do or just be done with the situation. I just kept mulling it over, and that has not been what I've been doing lately. So I was just like, why am I getting back into this over like the old way I used to be? Why is this happening? I've been doing so good. And so I guess after I kind of moved out of it, I was like, okay, I should talk about this, because like I was overthinking things like at work, little things, like things that I know how to do. I was just like, maybe I should do it this way. Maybe I should do it this way. Now I spent 20 minutes mulling over how I should do something instead of just doing it, and then it's gonna be fine either way. Like, and so I wrote down a couple things just that I want to make sure that I said to you guys, because if you're an overthinker like me, I feel like this could be really helpful. So, how to stop overthinking? I think a part of it, like I said, it all comes down to trusting yourself. But one of the things that I have to tell myself, and I feel like my therapist has said this to me as well, be present. Be present, okay? Be present. A lot of overthinking for me comes from trying to think about the future or trying to think about the past. I'm sure that's the same for you as well. So you're thinking about things that haven't happened yet, and you're like, oh, I don't know how it's going to go. I don't know if I want to get this job. I don't know if he's going to like me. I don't know if I'm going to like this. Like, you know what I'm saying? And all those things put you into what I like to call the negativity whirlpool, okay? And not everything is bad. You don't know what's going to happen, and your whole life's going to be over when nothing has happened yet. So you have no reason to be thinking like that. Or you're doing the opposite. You're thinking about the past, something that you did that was embarrassing, something that you did that you didn't like, a way that you were treated that you didn't approve of, a million other things that, you know, you could be thinking about the past or about your past decisions. And now that also puts you into the negativity whirlpool of, why did I do this? What's wrong with me? Why did I allow that? I'm this, I'm that. And it just takes you down to a negative place. But if we're able to train our minds to stay present in the moment that we're in right now and let that be enough, I think it can eliminate a lot of our overthinking. And I think that's been really, really helpful for me, because at the end of the day, you can't control what's already happened, and you can't control what's about to happen. It's just, there's nothing you can do about it. You can just be here. And it's easier said than done, for sure, for sure. But I think that's something that I say to myself all the time. Be present. Stop. Like when I feel it about to happen, I'll be like, whoa, stop. And I've said this before in previous episodes too. I like to talk to myself. As you can see, I have a podcast where there's no one else in this house but me. But we're here together. But you know, I talk to myself. I don't feel bad about it. I don't feel crazy. It is what it is. But what I do when I find myself starting to overthink and starting to get in my head, I literally will say no. I'll be like, no, stop it right now. We're done with that thought. And then I'll move on. I'll say it out loud. And I don't care if people look at me, because I care about my mind. Okay, so I don't care. But I literally was like, no, I'm not thinking about that right now. And literally that helps to rewire your brain to go a different way. We're done with that. And so if you have to do that, I think you should try it and see. I know it seems kind of silly, but imagine like you're in it. You're having this deep thought. Cut it. No, we're not doing it. I'm going to think about something else now. Like, simple as that. And we do have that control over our minds. If we really practice it, I think we can gain that control. And I don't always get it right. Sometimes I'll be like, no, and my brain be like, yes, girl, we're going to think about this. So like I said, I know it's not as easy as just saying it, but the more you practice it, I think you can get to that point where you can get a little bit more control over your thoughts, or a lot of bit more control over your thoughts. So I feel like that's a very, very important aspect of how I control the overthinking for myself. And then also removing the opportunity for you to overthink, especially when it comes to things like tasks. So like I was saying, I had something at work that I know how to do, that I've done multiple times, but all of a sudden I just felt very like not confident about it for no reason, really. I don't know where that came from. And so I mulled it over for so long, and then eventually I ended up doing it because I had to. It was a part of my job. I had to do it, but I felt very weird about it. It took me a long time to actually pull the trigger on doing it. And so I think that another thing that's been helpful for me is just removing the ability to do it. So like, let's say you have to make a phone call and you don't know how the phone call is going to go, so you're thinking about it, you're trying to plan out what you're going to say, and you want to say it this way, you want to say it that way. So let's say you have a phone call you need to make, and you're overthinking how the phone call is going to go, what you're going to say, how the person's going to perceive what you're saying, what they're going to say, all the thoughts that are and the fears that are coming up, because that's what they are. You're just fearful, which I get. I'd be scared. And so what I did was, in that moment where I was thinking about all these things, I was just like, click, I'm just going to call you. Like, I'm going to eliminate the opportunity for me to go back and forth with myself when it just literally doesn't make a difference whether I sit here for 30 minutes and mull this over or not. Either way, I have to make this call, and either way, I will not know how it goes until I get on the phone. Like, and that's just what it is. So I feel like cutting myself off, and like another version of what I said earlier about just saying no out loud, doing that by speaking it, cool, but also now doing it by action. Like, if you have to do something, I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to call the person. I'm just going to do the thing. I'm just going to go ahead and do it. And guess what? If it's wrong, if something goes wrong, the world is not going to be over. It just isn't. And I think that for me in my head, when I'm doing certain things, I build up this thing to where, like, if I don't do this right, it's all going to be bad. Girl, it's okay. It's not. There's very few things that if you do it wrong, your whole life will crumble. Like, that's just not what the situation is. So I feel like we put a little bit too much weight and too much pressure on certain things when really it's not that deep. Some things are that deep. True. But a lot of things, especially for things that I overthink these days, no, they're not that deep. You're small things, and you mull it over, and you really make a mountain out of a molehill for real. A molehill out of a mountain? A mountain out of a molehill. I got it right the first time. But I feel like that's another important factor of just trying to control the overthinking. Just controlling your thoughts. That's really all this is. Let's see. And then lastly, okay, my friend sent me a video yesterday talking about decision making. The topic was like if you struggle to make decisions, something like that, right? I will link the video below. I'm not going to play it because it's kind of long, but I'll link it below. But I want to talk to you guys about the points that I got from it and how they resonated with me in terms of overthinking. And so this is what I said. I said through overthinking, we really are just scared, and we want to be perfect, but that isn't possible. And your soul and your spirit want you to be able to trust yourself enough to know what you want and how to get there. So just do what it is that you already know that you want to do. So like I said in the beginning, when I was talking about this, I was talking about trusting yourself also. And what I felt like she was trying to say in her video was, you want to go back and forth, you want to do all the research and get all the clarity that you need to make these decisions. But if you just sit still for a second, take a deep breath, and really think about what your spirit is telling you and what you actually want, you know what to do. You know what's right and you know what's wrong, and you can move forward in knowing that you know that already. You know what I'm saying? And that comes back to being able to trust that you know what's best for you. And I had something for y'all, because this is what I thought about. This is where my mind went after that. Well, how can I can't trust that because I can't trust myself. So if I can't trust myself, how can I even make these decisions like this? The only way that you're going to be able to trust yourself is by doing what I'm saying to do. You have to make these decisions and go through that process in order for you to build up that that track record with yourself that says, oh, I can trust me. Oh, the decisions that I'm making are good ones. Hey, the decisions that I made last week are proving to be a good decisions this week. I'm seeing that payoff now. You won't know that until you put yourself in a position to where you have to make decisions for yourself. And you have to do it consistently. And I feel like that's kind of the period that I feel like the Lord, hey, amen, had to walk me through for a couple of years. Maybe starting in 2020, it was just like decision after decision. And I feel like I was having decision fatigue. It sucked. And it was really just because, and I feel like I could have made that process a lot faster, but I was really bad at it. So it took a long time because it was like any decision that I made, like I said in the beginning, any decision that I made, I had to mull it over for what felt like eons. And then on top of that, I had to consult my bestie, and I had to consult a cousin, or I got to consult my mom, I got to consult my daddy, I got to consult everybody, I got to go find the best expert who knows about this thing, I got to talk to them about it too. And it's like, it's one thing to reach into your support system and make sure that what you're doing makes sense. That is a good thing to do. Get somebody in your corner who you can bounce your ideas off of to make sure you're not making a dumb decision, sure. But going after you've gotten that confirmation that what you're doing is right or makes sense to someone else that you trust or that is an expert in X field, just move forward. Why you got to go back and do it again? That was what I used to do. I've talked to everybody said, oh, I love this idea, Tyler, it's great. You're making sense, right? This is not a dumb thing to do. And then I'll be like, I don't know if I trust them. I don't know, maybe that's not right. And I'll go over the whole process again and again and again until I wear myself out into, okay, I guess I'll do it. And like, that is so tiring to do over and over again, especially as you grow into an adult. The amount of decisions that you have to make, is exponentially higher. So, excuse me. So you can't spend an hour on what you're going to eat for dinner. You can't do that. You can't spend a couple hours trying to decide if you're going to make this call or not. Just make the call. And either way, it's going to be fine. Either way, the world is not going to be over. And so I think those are the things that I remind myself of, which is to be present, which is to do it anyways. Even when it just feels a little bit wrong, I'm going to cut out all the excuses and distractions that will make it to where I can continue to overthink. I'm going to just say it out loud, or I'm going to just click the button. I'm going to do the thing. I'm going to push the button. All right, I'm going to get it done. Because sitting here and thinking about if I'm going to get it done or not is just not what I want to do. And it's not bringing me closer to what I'm trying to do. So, like, why? And then also remembering that all of this is centered around trusting yourself. The way that you feel with all the overthinking that you're doing is because you don't trust yourself. And because you don't believe that you make good decisions. But you won't know that you make good decisions until you start making decisions. Until you start doing it and doing it efficiently, you won't know. Like, you just won't know. And I think that what's gotten me to the point that I'm at now, to where I overthink a whole lot less, is because I have shown myself, oh girl, when you make a decision, it's pretty good. Everything is not perfect. You don't make all good decisions. Definitely don't. But when I'm looking, I'm like, oh, okay, I did this and it worked. I did this and it moved me forward towards the goals that I have for myself. I did this. Oh, that was a smart decision. That the way you did that made sense. And you will not learn that about yourself until you take those steps forward. So I encourage you, if you are an overthinker, to listen to what I've just said. Try to apply some of the things that I've said, especially that one when you are in your head and you have to say no out loud. Try it and let me know. Put it in the comments if you do try that, or if you already do that. Let me know how that works for you. I would love to talk to you more about it. I think that's so interesting, the way that it's helped me out. I tell everybody who overthinks to do the same thing. So try these things. Talk to yourself a little bit more. I encourage it. Get to know yourself a little bit better. Talk to yourself a little bit more. Pray about it. Talk to your friends about it. But overthinking is something that you can be in control of. You're not just like, I'm just an overthinker. I just overthink. Like, that's why you should say, that's just my thing. It doesn't have to be your thing if you don't want it to be. You're in control here, not the other way around. So just keep that in mind. Okay. But that's it. I thought that's it for me. Yeah, we're good. I hope you guys have a wonderful, amazing rest of your week. I love you guys so much. Once again, please don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, do all the things. It really helps me out and I very much appreciate it. And with that, I'm out of here. Love you guys. Bye.